I think the Viego
Really?
make the most sense.
No way. That's an ego pull. Okay. I was like, that is the most ego if he does, but he goes for the Viego pick here. And a snap pickup on the Lucian Nami. So we do get a little bit of that early game focus, early game power in the bot lane for Fnatic, but I really like the distribution of their champions across the game.
So I can tell who's been scrimming who. A bit of a European meta has developed, it seems. But yeah, the Lucian Nami, a very powerful and present bot lane, something that, well, the entire world was playing domestically. At the World Championship, we thought that it would fall off, but it seems that it has returned. And it will be Zeus locking in the Jax. They kept that Akali as a flex pick. He's decided that he wants to have more agency in the top lane. Faker's going to be playing the Akali into the Azir, kind of as we expected. And I think that both sides are pretty happy with what they've gotten themselves.
Yeah, comps are locked in. Jat, which one do you like more?
I mean, I think I like T1 because they are T1 and they're going to play with ego. Based on what we talked about, I think Fnatic got what they wanted and they quote one draft.
Okay, in terms of where we should be looking, Vedius, where are the difference makers? Based on this, who are you looking to on each team to pull it out?
I think that this mid matchup is going to be really important. Can Faker unlock himself like he did yesterday and have an impact in the fights, or can Humanoid limit his impact? On top of that, the top matchup, I wouldn't be surprised to see T1 throwing a lot of resources there to try and shut Wonder down, and Fnatic are going to have to find ways to limit that. Alternatively, they might try to attack the bot side of the map themselves. So I think it's a bit of a cross map. Fnatic focusing bot, T1 focusing top. The question is, who can get that lead in the early game, and how will it transition into the team fight?
I mean, either way, it's definitely a different look for both squads. While we keep a couple pieces the same to what we've seen working for both of these teams at the tournament so far. Comps are locked in. Teams are ready to do battle. One of these teams is moving to 2-0 and setting themselves up for the rest of the group stage. Let's get in the game, and let's head back to our casters.
Thank you very much, Dash. Hello and welcome back to a battle at the top of the table here between Fnatic and T1. The LEC so far are winning the group stage by the most. They are 3-1. They are the strongest region so far by record of the group stage, and Fnatic and T1, the strongest teams in the group right now. Only one of these teams will be the only team at Worlds 2-0.
And it's going to be so interesting. Like, I'm really interested to see how the mid lane matchup is going to go. Yes, I think it's more about bot and top this game as far as stylistic, and champion picks, but Faker was amazing yesterday on the Akali, and Humanoid has just been smurfing in Worlds Low, it feels like. He is crushing play-ins. He crushed C9 yesterday. He has been on another level, so I want to see if he can really bring that level of pressure here against Faker.
He's going to need to do a lot of pressure in that matchup, and we talked about it before. We've seen this matchup second time today, EDG versus T1. Faker's under a lot of pressure from scouts. Azir, Humanoid needs to replicate that pressure.
Well, I'm going to pressure you to link your league account with Prime Gaming to receive free in-game content. Make that one happen. The beginning of the game setting up right now, though. Zay's making sure no aggressive wards towards his top side. Spawns nothing too special going on, as that ward, we'll see if Viego goes for a invade.
Gonna be really interested to see how this top lane does go. We kind of expected we're gonna see more Jaxes and Fioras and whatnot, as we come into the group stage, given that the skill level of these top laners is just going up and up and up as answers to the Aatrox. But so far, Aatrox has still been pretty solid, and I want to see, if Zeus, who is thought as probably the best or second best top laner in the tournament alongside 369, if he can really punish it.
He had a fantastic game yesterday against Flandre in isolation. We'll see if he can replicate that again, but it looks like Razork starting on Raptors. We'll track his pathing for now. T1 warded out the entrance, so they know that he started there. He could go Raptors to red, but it looks like he's going Raptors towards his top side camps, maybe looking for some early action towards the Aatrox Jax lane. And the Lucian Nami pick into the Aphilos Thresh, a bit surprising. The desk was touching on it. Maybe it's an EU meta, maybe it's something Europe is confident in pulling out. I mean, if Thresh can land the hook onto the Nami, she might have to blow her sums, but if they can play the range and they can keep the auto attacks going through with the sustain, they should be able to get the push in that lane. A little bit of trading across the board. Looks like Razork's on his top camps, and we get the 3-lane view.
Zay's really stunned, level 2. Doesn't jump in for any more than the early damage, but doing what he can to deny the gold income is Wonder. Can't lane, gonna have a hard time to get anything good done in team fights as well.
Yeah, and generally in Jax versus Aatrox in these levels, it's not even worth staying in for the extra auto after the stun, because if Aatrox gets that passive auto back, he's gonna win out in that trade. So it is just about getting the counter strike, backing it up. He wants to have push here. So far, so good for Zeus.
Yeah, Gumuyushi had to blow the heal there. Upset dashing forwards on top of him, almost in tower range. Good bot wave stack here by Fnatic, but their jungler's on the top side of the map. I wonder if Owner's going to invade the red here. It's gamble in a sense that did Razor go Raptors red? He doesn't know, but he does know that he started on Raptors. He's going to take the gamble and check the red buff, see if it's up. Could be early pressure. I mean, Fnatic has the bot push, they have the mid push. They can collapse quite quickly if he starts it up. He's going to go to Krugs instead. No, he actually pulls the red.
He's hitting it. So now this is information known. I think Razor also knows the information. Stun's going to land 200 HP onto him. Could die, smites for health as he flashes the wall. Not just yet. And now out of range of the stun is not going to be hit for anything more, but he knows now with smite down, there is no steal. Red buff goes over to Owner. Razor has to run back down to his lane, who's also a bit low on health.
But look at Upset. Upset has already had to spend both his sums there. He gets chunked out and pushed back.
Done a whole lot more, has to burn his own flash, but he can jump the wall, goes for the stealth, wants to get Hilly, first blood through to Fnatic. Trade it back now, Vicaria will be handing over double buffs to Upset.
EU with the early 3v3 advantage going in their favor. We saw Keria blow both of his summoners to get upsets, but Owner overextending there. Razork playing with a lot of confidence, doesn't hesitate, doesn't burn his flash when he's under pressure from Owner on the red buff, saves it to punish him later on. Humanoid trading really hard onto Faker there, loses a lot of his mana bar, has the potions to tick up, but that's a Lucian with double buffs.
Yeah, absolutely. That is huge. You know, after Upset lost both the summoners, you had to feel that this bot lane was going to start going really in the favor of T1, but Owner just not paying respect to the fact that Razork could still be around. It seemed like his read was Razork would have run all the way out, would be getting out of there, and he thought he could chase him straight through, but the big punish from Fnatic.
Is indeed now early serrated Dirk on this Lucian. No summoners though, so very vulnerable, and now Humanoid's trying to crash this mid wave. Owner is on the way. No flash, of course, for the flash W, but Humanoid might have to burn his. Has no...
He's going to try to get past it, but yeah, he's too close to the tower at this point, so really no angle for that gank to actually land.
Nothing lands, and I would love to see the replay of how Upset lost this summoner. So this is the replay of the jungle 1v1. Razork doesn't hesitate here and just flash away instantly in panic. He just holds it, procs his passive, gets the phase rush smites. What happened bot though? Does Keria flash flay onto Upset when he dashes forwards? No, he doesn't.
Oh, what a read. Yeah.
And they flash flays to cleanse. Upset has to match. Both summoners burn from the supports. Gumayushi from Keria and Upset. Gumayushi has no heal, the overchase, and then the punish from Razork.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Owner just doesn't actually think that he's going to be staying there, but that was a beautiful ward from Razork. He places the ward in the brush as he walks out, and then just waits hugging the wall, so the Owner doesn't have early vision of him. And as soon as he steps in, it's flash, tackle into the wall, the follow-up is there. You already know Hilly's going to be down to flash in for that sort of a play. And that was just Owner going way too far, and a beautiful turnaround from Fnatic.
Razork's up towards this top side. Zeus has no TP. It looks like Wunder got a really good trade on him while we were watching that replay, so there's a threat of a dive lingering here. Owner's on his way up to try to cover it. They can look for 100-0 now or a Hex Flash.
But yeah, I think seeing the strat come around, he's like, jungler's here, this is not a play. We don't get this dive off. Zeus still has his flash, still has dodge, presumably.
He's got to leave. He's gonna lose a full wave. Facing here with no TP means you're gonna lose the cannon and everything, so that is rough for Zeus. That is the difficulty in some of these early game matchups. As Jax, you don't really have any sustain, so if you are taking those Qs, that sweet spots that Wunder keeps hitting him with, it's going to be a massive advantage for him. You'll lose the entire wave, you lose the cannon, your wave will bounce, and Wunder will get a plate. That right there is a swing of almost a kill's worth of gold.
Definitely is. So Wunder up to an early lead here in this top lane isolation. Razork hovering around to zone Zeus away, and side lane's going in their favor now. Double buffs have fallen off the Lucian. Upset has the cleanse up if Keria lands the hook, but Hilly has no flash, so Upset might have to play blocker here and try to help his support if Keria does a Hex Flash.
Hex Flash, Lantern, good sidestep the hook by both. They both go upwards. It's not going to land. That could have been a kill, of course, with Summoners down.
Yeah, and both junglers hovering around. Owner's just going to back away, gave information that he was there. Razork didn't show, but he is around on Krugs. Could look to shadow the Fnatic bot lane in the brush if they overstep here. Gumayushi has his heal back up. Keria's flash still not up just yet. Wunder's going to run back to lane with that serrated Dirt, going for an Eclipse on Aatrox here. Will be a lot of fighting in this top side at this level 6.
Yeah, absolutely. The early serrated Dirt going to really help him to try to maintain that advantage that he has built for himself now in this top lane. Razork around, not been spotted just yet, but will be spotted here by the pink ward, Guma.
Oh, he had a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That might... One of his mouse must have disconnected there for a second because he got Lantern, but he couldn't move. I wonder if his screen froze, his PC froze, his mouse broke there. Something happened there. Might have to look for some kind of chrono break because that hurts the lane so much.
Yeah, taking the bad trade, that looks so strange. So they will have to review it. You know, we'll give you any information as soon as we do have it. But no, I agree with your assessment, Cadril. That's immediately what I was thinking there is something is going wrong. He's not able to take the Lantern.
Yeah.
It just looks too strange. And he loses a good, what, couple hundred health there? So you wouldn't be able to just play it out from that state if it was, in fact, some sort of bug.
Yeah, I'm looking at the in-game screen right now. Gumayusi just lost around 25% of his health bar. Razork's around threatening the dive. This would not have happened if the mouse or the PC, whatever happened, didn't stop working for a split second there. He would have just taken the Lantern. So we'll have to investigate what happened.
Yep.
And I'm sure we'll resolve whatever issue T1 have with that sequence of events.
Well, regardless, as that's getting sorted out, we can talk about how this game is going in the first place, which is honestly pretty magical at this point. Yeah, he was at 80% and gets dropped to like 40, so he'll lose a ton of his health in that one. But this is still Fnatic, that trade or not, doing incredibly well in this game.
Yeah, his character just stops moving. He's at about 800 health. You know, we're just looking, we're in the client. Went from 800 health down to 371. So it took about 430 damage to 3 full potions, essentially, you know, worth of health lost there. You know, after the Lantern had already been dropped.
Yeah, just talking about the game state right now. Razork, we just saw him on the bot side. Upset, confident enough to dash forward. Side lane's going good right now for Fnatic. Early lead from that jungle 3v3 skirmish. Gumayusi can collapse in time. Overcommit from Owner and Keria. And mid lane's pretty even. We saw this matchup go really heavily in the Azir's favor, but Humanoid hasn't been able to punish Faker too much. Both with base, both with TP'd back. Very even states. Dragon's still up. Herald spawning in about a minute. But we'll give you updates the second we know them.
Yep, absolutely. Things looking all right there for Zeus on the top side. You know, it's pulled mostly back to even as far as the farm goes, but I do think that Wunder still has more CS to actually pick up and does have that plate advantage. Of course, the early kills here for Upset, though, you know, really going to make Fnatic feel a lot better.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean, I think you're going to want to keep seeing the Lucian Army to have pressure on to see if they can get the first Drake. We are, of course, 7 minutes into the game. I haven't seen that one on the scoreboard just yet, but I'm always partial to see anytime you can like force the bad recall and then you sneak the Drake in, and yeah, it takes like your turn. Like you shove a wave in, it's like, well, I can reset match items, or I can drag it and sit in lane and hope I can play the lane out down a new quiver, which obviously is tough to do. So that's why we often see so rarely actually is Drake taken super early. And it also really frequently goes to red side. Like for whatever reason, it's like a 70% so far at Worlds that red team gets first Drake, and blue team is like 70% getting first Herald.
Interesting. I think the word you brought up there, a turn, is actually a very easy way to describe tempo, right? Where you have an advantage in a lane, whether it's you have a first base, you got a good trade, you are up in items, whatever it may be, or you have more numbers on that side of the map, so you can actually make a play. It can be a Drake. Knowing the limits of the play is very important, though, because if you overextend and you lose that turn, they could get 2 turns in a sense, right? Where they have a lot of tempo and you have the base and you're getting your recalls cancelled. So, yeah, right now T1 bot lane getting a little bit pushed in, wave stacking into them. This is an option for Fnatic to look for Drake. Upset's really low on mana, though, after that dash forwards and that combo. But yeah, they do, in essence, have some kind of like a quote-unquote turn.
All right, well, as you can see on the screen, well, in a second you could have seen it, they are still reviewing what is going on with the pause, reviewing the footage as well. So as we wait for that to get resolved, we're going to toss it over to Dash and the rest of the analysts.
And we're back.
The current map state in the bot lane, and already we're back
in the game. We're heading back to the casters.
All right.
Thank you very much, and welcome back. And you can see Gumayusi still has his health bar, so crucial, important change there, but Upset lanes the Q.
Nice little Q there. Razork on the bottom side, but as his owner, so looks like they're going to be skirmishing potentially over this scuttle, and it could come down to who has mid lane prio. Looks like the push is pretty even for now.
Good damage, though. Hits the trade, dodges every skill shot. Now a flay into the bot side. Upset gonna burn his cleanse, but he's ignited right afterwards. Keria doing very well to time that summoner spell against Upsets. Cleanse does remove summoner, so important to always burn that afterwards.
Yeah, we saw the bottom right there, those fighting in top, fighting in bots. Junglers were having a scrap as well. Mid lane, a lot of prio contest here. Faker trying to dash onto Humanoid here, chunk his health bar to contest his wave before he tries to crash it and take a base, you expect. Razork, very deep area. A lot of respect there.
He thought he was stunnable. I mean, Hillsong lands the bubble every time and then Upset kills you, so burns it there, Owner. Gonna get, gets the plant in time, so Razork's gotta get away. Will immune the stun for now, but gets it once the W ends. Has to flash. Hook goes wide.
Oh, I thought he was going to die there, Razork, but he manages to escape with the Nimbus Cloak from the flash, has the boots as well, a lot of move speed on that Poppy, so in the end, it's basically a trade of flashes there for jungle support.
Yeah, and I think you favor T1 on that side of it here, you know, being able to get that flash down. Keria paying respect. He also knew that Razork's flash was back, so when you are hugging a wall and you see the Poppy, you really do have to respect the fact that he could be flashing and instantly tackling you into the wall there, and you would be going down, so I do think respectful flash from Keria. Couldn't quite connect on the hook as Razork gets out of there, but still, things looking pretty good here for T1. You know, slowing down the game a little bit after that early skirmish went Upset's way and got those kills.
Base is coming through from bot lane. You can see T1's bot lane going up towards this top side. They want to start up the Herald, and you can see pings from Fnatic knowing that they need to match that. Zeus TP towards bot gives them all the information that they need. The only question is, does Wunder take a base here and match Zeus, or does he stay around to make sure it's a 5v4 on Herald?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a hard choice to make because it looks like they're going to just start up Herald potentially. Wunder is moving down towards bot, so he might just try to hoof it all the way down. Because if you actually go Herald and you don't pull Wunder down towards bot side, you're going to lose plates to Zeus, and he's just going to get too much.
Yeah, Zeus is already going to get one plate, you have to imagine, before Wunder arrives. He could have also just ran up river right now and then mismatched Wunder. Is he going to get two is the question. Wunder is on his way down, doesn't have the boots. He's going to try to collapse down. It looks like Fnatic on the minimap have started up that Herald. Ping port over the wall gives T1 all the information they need, but it looks like T1 have already called the cross map. Owners on the way down towards bot. Can they dive this Aatrox is the question, and will they commit into it? Zeus trying to chunk him out before the wave crashes. Owner would be the one tanking.
Wunder has ult, Wunder has flash. They're trying to get a little bit of poke down because the lower the health bar, the better, obviously. Q1, Q2, everything is now on cooldown. Gotta get the wave in. He's gonna kind of preempt it, but yeah, Wunder keeps the wave off his tower. Senses Owner's on the way. Maybe he saw him from that brush in the ward brush, but regardless, gets no dive.
That's exactly it. As Zeus was trying to crash the wave, Wunder was hitting Zeus and then holding the wave, so Owner couldn't walk into tower range without tanking it. So good presence in mind there to stop the dive from coming through. Razork now on this top side has the Herald. Needs to be careful though. No flash, a hook could connect, but there's no members of T1 around for follow-up. Gumyushi's just hovering to catch the wave.
Yeah, and Faker moving up to cover as well. You can see him on the map moving up, in case there was a potential dive or they wanted to drop the Herald here. Zeus just going to be heading back to base. Couldn't, in fact, actually get that second plate. Almost did. But it will be a T1 Dragon traded on the other side. This tower now incredibly low, and Faker has returned to mid, so they're just going to have to give it up. It will be first tower here for Fnatic, and Upset going to get a lot of the gold.
He's not going to walk in and auto it. He'll actually share a lot of the turret gold this way. He'll get his Mythic sooner, but it will delay up to its power spike. Now a 2v1 on the bottom side. Stun will come across. Ulti's on, though. Needs to land Q3, and it's going to be just too much. Owner ults to disengage the stun as Humanoid's TP comes in.
So Fnatic defend the tower, they defend the plate, they get top tier 1. This Lucian is off to a massive gold lead. Upset should have the Gale Force in base, and Razork's around mid lane to catch the wave. Carrier ran all the way down towards bot with these mobility boots to try to help out to make this play happen. T1 get nothing. Early gold lead now in Fnatic's hands.
Yeah, looking really, really good for Fnatic through these early minutes. You can see Gale Force done and Mandate done for Hilly. So both Mythics completed here early on. Both of them were the people that actually picked up those kills around Owner's kind of over-aggression on that bottom side, and they're going to be spiking like crazy.
And it's on Upset. Upset has all the tools he needs. You just talked about the amount of damage that they have, the champions as well, the amount of plays that they can make and picks that they can look for. Upset, of course, wasn't at Worlds last year. This is his first World Championship. He's had a very strong performance so far, getting out of groups as the first seed, got himself a pentakill on the Kalista. How much can he get done on this Lucian? Humanoid will be the late-game insurance, but it's on Upset to get Fnatic through this mid-game.
A bit of a lull right now, though, as the first Drake and Herald were both claimed. Those power spikes are huge, but there's nothing to fight for unless you're an LPL team, in which case the mid-wave. Just slap them down 5-on-5 right away, but this 2.3 thousand gold lead may hold the next 3 minutes to wait for the second Drake of the game.
And we have to see, when and if Zeus can actually get any sort of a serious advantage, in this 1v1 in top lane. You're chunking Wunder down very low. Wunder does have no ulti, so I think he wants to potentially stack up the passive and look for the dive.
Gonna go for the dive, goes in, forced to flash away. Wunder does the exact same. Doesn't have the damage, looks like, for Q auto, so we'll trade that back.
Nice attempt there from Zeus, and it's going to be Wunder that actually has to base here, despite the fact that he does have a Vamp Scepter. He knows he could be an easy redive for Zeus, so Zeus may be able to pick up another plate on that top side. Would be another one going up to the Jax, but in fact, Wunder does have the TP, so we'll be able to cover this, and Mythic is complete.
Oh, good ulti, even better Lantern Carrier, already playing around the angle, what it could be. Plate shared, forcing the back step there for Carrier. And Owner, killing the ward, feels safe to do so.
They don't have information on Razor. Carrier was probably thinking about a flash play there to help Owner gap close because Faker is on the way down. But if Razor's in lane, it just instantly turns straight on T1's head. Fnatic just maintaining this bot push. Upset used the ultimate to try to chunk out Gumayushi. And he still has the Gale Force to dash forwards. Wunder just freezing this top wave. Will get a bit of a CS advantage up against Zeus. Of course, has completed the Eclipse. Mythic in his advantage. Gumayushi pops the ult. Upset. Gale Force goes underneath the tower. Fnatic scream bot death.
Upset is just going off in this game, taking down Guma there through the heel. Gale Force forward and just blows him up.
Owner manages to get the blue. It went on a mission there, got knocked away from Razork. Wanted to slow down the T1 jungler, picks it up, but you hit the nail on the head there. Upset. We talked about what he needs to do to get this team from early to mid-game. This is exactly it. I think this is the initial dash forwards where he gets Guma's ult, and this damage is absurd. Gumayushi even popping the heal just gets melted.
Yep, he gets the E from Nami. The mandate is there. It was E, Gale Force, auto, Q tags him as he's trying to get out. Oh. That's a big kill on the other side of the map because T1 now, it's kind of all eggs in the Zeus basket here. They're going to get some good damage down on this tower. We can see that Hillsong is heading up here, as is Upset, but we'll have to find out if they're actually there in time to finish the tower. I don't think they will be able to defend it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to fall. That'll be an easy pickup for T1. They find their first tower of the game. They find a pick onto Wonder. I wonder if he just face-checked Owner there and just took a hell of a lot of damage. Looks like they're setting up for some kind of dive. It's Zeus that does the majority, you have to imagine now. A lot of power trading to deny this wave from crashing. Wunder just gets chunked out. Then he looks for the ward, I presume, and then Owner just chains him up.
Yeah, Wonder had the sense that it could be coming, but didn't know that it was already there, unfortunately for him. But now, Humanoid on the bottom side here. Guma very low and is going to have to flash.
Last way from most of the slows. Ulti has to get sidestep, gets his root. Upsets around. Humanoid gets it anyway. Flashes, keeping Upset from getting the gold.
Yeah, take a look for this bot tier 1. Drake's up in 30 seconds too. That's a 24-second death timer on Gumayushi. But there's no wave for Fnatic to play on. It's all the way in base. No, it's not actually. It's coming from the tower. There is a wave. They should be able to get that tower, and they can look towards the dragon. Gumayushi getting caught there. Humanoid using the all-in, uses the ult. Looks like flashes were traded as well.
Flash in for the play. Wonder still without his own flash. The hook puts him in for a while. Now, will he be able to drain tank this one? Without cooldowns, it seems unlikely. Gets over the wall. Ignite. Sharks the kill. Carry a 300 gold bridger.
But another kill on the other side of the map. It's really become the tale of two lanes here. It is about Upset and Hilly, versus what T1 can kind of get done on the top side with Zeus. Now, the problem for T1 is that none of these kills are actually going to Zeus. He didn't even get an assist on that one. He is being gifted, additional time to farm, additional time to scale here with that pressure up towards Wonder, but Fnatic are getting so much more on the other side.
He's not yet up CS or levels on any of the other soul lanes in this game. It may be Wonder, but we know he's behind. That's not the problem. The problem is Azir is still going to be a big threat. 1-0, 140 CS, a big Lucian down there as well. Now T1 are going to be able to grab second Herald of the game, but Zeus doesn't have anywhere to go.
No ward.
Gonna put on the dodge zone, gets away from the bubble, but is there a way to live? Finally gets a ward down from his support, but Humanoid has the damage. Looking for a bit more. Razor gets the knock at there. Faker sidesteps, and he's going to find the lantern from inside the shroud.
Upset has flash.
Still chasing. Upset. Can't get in range. Gale Force already down. Cannot find it. Faker gets out.
Yeah, doesn't get in range for the damage. Burns his flash there, a bit wasted, but Fnatic get the kill onto Zeus. Humanoid with his mythic already in the Sork shoes, just melting through the Jax. Will get the top push out. Not in time to contest the Herald, but it's a trade of neutrals. Still an early lead over to Fnatic. It's the carries of Fnatic that are so strong right now. And Wunder, I think, is pretty even up against Zeus, despite, like I said, Azale, only one assist going into his back pocket. So I'll take a look at this one again.
Yeah, we can watch it one more time. The lantern is there to get taken out. Zeus looked back, stepping towards it. Maybe didn't realize he didn't actually have a trinket ward available. Then it finally comes back on cooldown. He can actually go for the leap strike out, but Fnatic are already there. They're on the chase here, trying to finish off Faker, who's sidestepping as much of the culling as he can. The Gale Force was used there to finish him off. Couldn't quite get the kill. And it does cost Upset his flash, so maybe there's an opportunity to try to get a shutdown there.
17 minutes into the game, look at Upset's items versus Gumayushi. He has a Serrated Dirk, Rapid Fire Cannon, and a Gale Force. 2.5 items so early on. He will melt through anyone of T1 who lack a lot of frontline. There's no neutral objectives just yet, so T1 don't have to get pulled into a fight, but they do want to use this Herald somewhere.
And that basically means Upset is the entire gold advantage, right? Like, he's the entire rapid fire ahead of his opponent. That is the gold lead right now here for Fnatic. So he's got to make sure that he's positioning well, that he's playing safe. He did use that flash aggressively, so that is potentially a window of opportunity here for T1 to punish. And going to be interesting to see where Zeus goes with the build. When there isn't a Azir that's this strong, sometimes you are discouraged from that Frozen Heart build that a lot of people do love. We can see he has a longsword, so it might be in towards something like Asterix or a Death Dance if he feels he needs to be a little bit more generalist.
Yeah, lots of items for the Jax. Blade of the Rune King, another one, but then you're really over-prioritizing the 1v1, and in teamfights, the Jax can get melted straight through the Poppy W, the Azir wall. There's a lot of things that will stop Zeus and Faker from being able to dash on these carries, but they are very squishy. Wunder fighting Zeus.
Doesn't know he's in a 1v2, but Razork on the way over here as well. Owner able to slink into the brush, and I believe he's not in vision on the way up here. But suddenly a rude surprise, Razork is there. Carrion now also behind in the Fog of War. It's actually now a 3v2, but the support is on the way now as well. Hillsong walking down the river.
Yeah, Fnatic have mid push and they're hovering down.
Oh, no.
Wunder's gonna stay. There's TPs on both solo laners in both mids.
They peel
Upset.
out. Guma quite low, but the minions are on the way to block the culling. He stays alive. Burns a summoner heal. Fnatic not down a summoner.
Fully all in there, looking for the 1v1. Owner's still on this bot side, and Fnatic are just going to hit this mid tier one. Owner has the Herald. He could drop it bot here to try to trade towers, but it looks like they're chasing onto Wunder on the minimap, and Razork's covering him off. Bot lane of Fnatic so close. T1 can't commit here.
Sit in the brush. They'll see Owner before he sees them from that vantage, and it is no play.
Oh, they gotta get out of there. They're not respecting the roam at all. I mean, now it's gonna be a 4v2 down here.
Razork in behind Zeus. Will there be a fight? What's gonna happen? It's everyone around. 2 versus 4. Fnatic about to get even more for dinner. They're gonna be delivering all of it. Faker shows up, but you have to believe the reinforcement will not be enough.
Shutdown.
Oh, Faker shuts down the gold lead. Upset is down. The TP is huge, but Faker's locked in place. He's gonna drop. Humanoid on a killing spree.
Gumayushi has flash. He's going to have to... No, he gale forces out of the bubble. Nice try there by Hilly, but good reaction from Gumayushi. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Fnatic, but a massive shutdown onto Faker. No waves to play on, but Herald... Baron, spawning in 5 seconds. Neither team can go towards it.
Now it's the reset instead for the Dragon. This is the third minute of the game. 4,000 gold lead. Fnatic can just shop, be playing for it.
And T1 are gonna get the mid lane tower here, so they get a little bit more off the back end of that. The Herald having to be summoned
TP behind,
in
though.
base.
Is that Wunder coming in behind T1? What's
Too
he
far
find?
ahead. There's nothing. The
no
rest of
there.
his team is just way too far away.
Yeah.
A little bit over eager there is Wunder. I mean, if Humanoid was already in mid, and then you can kind of go for the pincer play there, but Wunder going in, hoping I think that his TP wouldn't have been noticed, that he would have had more time for the setup, but gets spotted right away. T1 will get the base, and they're going to try to look for a counter tower.
Yeah, they should be able to pick this mid-tier one up. Can use the Azir passive to put the tower here and look for the Dragon that's spawning in 20 seconds too, but there is a Herald still in that top lane. Will push in the top wave. No TPs on Fnatic. They could be at risk of losing a tier 2 if Zeus just TPs up there and tries to look for a cross map when they drop this Dragon. Faker might be caught though. Dashes over the wall.
Oh, wants to go in. Goes in for the play. Stealth for now. Gonna be able to wait everything else out. TV coming back in for the Jax now. Does T1 find control? Razork not hit by the R2 out of Faker. Bubble gonna be sidestep. Dives in. Started to the wall. And Razork says thank you for the gold. Maybe you belong there. Is they're gonna get one back though. Wunder gets dropped. Humanoid stuck around. Has to burn the flash. A flash in for the stolen body of Owner. Will it happen? Razork pinned against the wall. A 1-for-1. Owner holds the front line. 3v3 on the map right now.
Wow, extended fight, 2-for-2. Upset doesn't look like he's done though. He has the flash, needs to be careful though because Owner has the Poppy. Does transform out of it. Dragon started up. Herald has taken the top tier 2. It's going towards the top tier 3 here. Fnatic need to defend their base.
It's going to get a charge. Humanoid has to actually defend that, but it will get the charge off. You can see on the minimap, stop moving. There's the charge. So they actually almost crack that top lane inhibitor tower, and there's no jungler there to answer. So it's going to be a Dragon for T1. Even in kills or so, but they get the top tier 2. They almost get the top tier 3. T1 going to be pretty happy about that overall, even though Faker went way too deep on the initial play and kind of gave away a freebie.
Yeah, we're seeing the power of this Poppy pick. The second Faker goes in, it's the W, it's the stuns into the wall where Upset can look for the turn with the Gale Force. Very skirmish-heavy game so far. Even fight on that bot side. T1, the victors, you have to imagine, because they got the Dragon and that top tier 2. Fnatic now trying to retake control of mid. Baron still up. Will be quite a quick Baron for Fnatic with this Lucian and Azir.
All the gold, though, in exactly the right places. 2K gold lead for Humanoid individually in his matchup. A 2K, actually over 2K gold lead for Upset in his individual matchup. So that is the lead. It is on the carries. It is exactly where Fnatic would want it to be. It is, in fact, the Blade of the Rune King. You called it out as an option. I was disregarding it because I didn't think it's a game that Zeus can win through side. It does feel like Fnatic are pushing the pace enough that he's going to have to group at points. He's going to have to team fight. And when you do go for that sort of a build, you are so squishy. If you misposition at all, if you get CC'd up at all, you're going down.
Especially against Humanoids Azir right now.
Yeah.
Level 14 has a Shadow Flame and Luden's building towards Rabadon's third. No defensive items on this train, but the amount of damage this Azir will dish out will be enormous. Upset 3 items strong, has the Collector. This mid game for Fnatic is incredibly powerful. T1 needs to be careful in overextending and looking for picks and looking for fights. If Fnatic are grouped up, the carries of Fnatic will melt them.
Looks like correctly playing around the Baron. It is Fog of War in the Baron pit and nearly basically no vision inside the top jungle. Bringing it down to 8K. Blue Trinket spots what's going on. They got to run in there and find the fight. Zeus
the knockback.
Side. They get rid of Viego. This is a guaranteed smite. It's going to be his. Baron's claim. The fight begins. Hylissang stays alive for now. They scoop back the Jax. Poppy interrupts him, and Upset sends him to his grave. T1 have 4, and they're against 5 and a Baron. Keria just drops, gets nothing done. Viego neither, and Fnatic continue. European domination. They're gonna get absolutely everyone. Faker just drops again as Fnatic go to a 7-0 start at Worlds.
EU faithful stand tall. This could be a 3-0 day. T1 is falling apart. 5-0 Baron for Fnatic.
Fnatic are crushing in this game, erasing their opponents off the map. The beautiful knockout secures them the Baron, and then T1, it seemed like, felt that they had to go for the fight. They had to erase some of these Baron buffs, but the force was not working at all. They are not ready to team fight. They don't have the gold on these carries, and they got destroyed.
This knockback from Razork was so clutch. The pink ward on the entrance instantly hits Owner to send him out of the fight. The reposition from Fnatic. Watch Humanoid here. Hylissang looks like he's in trouble. Pushes away Zeus from the flank. They reposition behind the wall. Razork peels away Faker, and then from there it's a front to back with Lucian Azir.
Exactly, and you see how quickly that Jax is going down. Owner is not even there. T1 see that the game is falling, and Keria looks for the turn with the flash play, but he's instantaneously dead. Owner tries to go in and get something, but he is blown out of the air as well. It's skeet shooting for Fnatic, knocking down T1 player after T1 player. Fnatic looking unstoppable.
Full of energy. Hylissang, of course, was late to the tournament in Plains. Had to go through COVID and jet lag and all these struggles through Plains, but now revitalized. Fnatic looking like they could go up 2-0 in this group. Look at Humanoid's items. The amount of damage he will do in this next fight is absurd. What does T1 have left? Their wave clear is so weak.
Nothing. They've got nothing.
Well, they're going to see what they can get. Zeus walking into the mid lane. We know top is at least low, but region's back to 1/3 HP. So top inhibitor, definitely a guaranteed claim. 6,000 gold when you count the ace on the Red Bull Baron power play. Fnatic still have 45 seconds to crush the base. Jax is hitting mid lane, so Fnatic will hit the top Nexus turret, but the wave is down for now. Green Ward will come in. They get a bit more time. Look at the Poppy ulti. Jax coming in for the TP flank, and they will send back Faker, no Akali, turret falls, 5v4. They can wait 30 seconds, but they might lose their final turret if that happens.
Fnatic looking to close this one out, waiting for the next top wave, poking T1 away. They've just used the Aatrox ult, the Poppy ult. Nami and Lucian, all that's left is Humanoid's wall. Window spacing, it looks like he might TP back. Upset dashes forwards onto Owner, waves coming in, but Zeus is proxying the wave. Yeah, he's cutting the wave off, so they can't look for the end. Fnatic need to chase this Jax and look to reset. I don't think they can stay here much longer. Dragon spawning in 20 seconds.
And that times out Baron. That means there is no Baron wave to go for the final Nexus turret, which means the wave clear could always be there. Were they going to recall stop? Were they going to recall stop? That was a second away from magically finding a 5v2.
Yeah, I mean, if you find that last member, when the recalls are desynced a little bit like that, it can mean so much. But now, instead, it's a 10k lead for Fnatic. It should be their Dragon for sure. I don't think that T1 have any business trying to contest here. There's no TP on Zeus. He's pushing out top. I think the hope is that you can somehow delay the game until you get that third, fourth item for Gumayushi. I mean, he's going to need IE. He's going to need a lot in the tank here to be able to get anything done, and they're trying to buy time for Zeus as well. But Fnatic will just keep pressing.
They definitely will. Upset also close to that Infinity Edge, but T1 working with very little right now. Zeus is trying his best to push out waves so they can at least have one lane of pressure, but Fnatic just grouping up. Wunder has the TP. He'll catch the mid wave safely. They've denied the soul point from T1. Looking on this bot tier 2, T1's comp just doesn't have that much wave clear either. Very single target damage heavy, and they have to commit with these melee champs to push Fnatic back, but they're so strong that they can just poke them under towers. Such big level leads and gold leads right now. I think they need another Baron to close this one out though, so Fnatic need to slow the game down a little bit, so T1 will have a little bit of room to breathe to get a couple more items.
It's time taken. We get to a lull right here. 1:45 until Baron. This one probably ends the game if Fnatic grab it cleanly. I think T1 know this. Need their wards to be around top side. Need to prep for this one. Zeus still going to be on the sides. Wards of Veil plus a null magic as he steps up towards a bit of two different items.
I mean, this tells the story, right? It's more than a full death cap ahead, more than a full IE ahead between these two carries. The advantage for these Fnatic carries is monstrous. It's just up to Hilly, Razork, and Wunder to keep their carries safe, and Upset and Humanoid can close out this game.
That is a hook, but it's onto the tankiest member of the team. It's going to mean absolutely nothing. The poke, you don't even notice it happen. It's still 3,000 health. Picker on the wings, but can he find a single good target? Flash is back up for every single member of Fnatic. They walk in, they just march for the mid lane inhibitor turret, and they'll be given it. Top still pushing in. Hook means very little. Flash on the back line. Zeus gets nothing done. The cleanse, the tackle, and they knock down the top laner. No threat at all. Upset burns the cleanse, and he's fine. Faker can't find his way in either. They get Nami. The scoop buys time. Perfect timing by Humanoid. And it's T1 lambs to the slaughter. A triple kill for Upset. Welcome the world, buddy Fnatic. Dethrone T1 in the group. Fnatic undefeated at Worlds.
Unbelievable performance coming out against T1, who looked flawless yesterday against EDG.